What is going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? Welcome and welcome back. We are here. This is Chaos and Charcuterie. I am Sean Ellis Rogers. I am your host. This is the visual extension of the Real Reality Realness podcast. But if you cannot catch this live, if you cannot watch it visually, I will be uploading the audio from these lives to my podcast as special episodes. How's everybody doing? It is What Up Wednesday. I am here to talk about just the random things I see going on the internet, in the feeds and the timelines and the algorithms and the headlines and all of those things, and just kind of chit chat about what I think. On the podcast, I give you guys the opportunity to get to know all types of reality stars, creatives, content creators. Um, Recording artists, etc. And I really want that show to be about them. So here, this is where you guys will get to know me, my thoughts, what I'm thinking, and what I think about all of the things that we talk about outside of reality TV, housewives, and all of that stuff, or you know, whatever. So on today's show, we had Nebraska DP, who is a female rapper from Memphis, Tennessee. She is on the show On the Way Up Atlanta, which is out right now. Go catch it on YouTube. It's a great show. Go watch it. Nebraska DP spit her first 16 on the show for me today, which was really awesome. I really appreciated it. We had a great conversation. She was a really sweet girl, so I appreciate her being a part of the show. Tomorrow on the show, I am going to have the rapper or the artist Bambiano. And this is going to be a really fun conversation for you guys to hear because we had a great talk. There's so much music, so much conversation, laughs. Rihanna's an inspiration. It's just going to be a great conversation. Make sure you guys are tuned in. Make sure you guys follow Bambiana. Bambi spelt like, the deer. And then Hana, like Suki Hana, but it comes more so from Rihanna, which I thought it was Bambi Hana, like Suki Hana, but it was actually Bambiana, like Rihanna. So make sure you check that out. It's going to be a great show, going to be very fun. I can't wait for you guys to check that out. Um, Make sure you also subscribe to the podcast. Make sure you're subscribed to the podcast, Real Reality Realness, at Real Reality Realness with Sean Ellis Rogers. Anywhere you can stream podcasts, Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeart, Stitcher, Amazon Audio, all of those places, Pocket Cast, Overcast. Real Reality Realness is everywhere. Make sure you guys stream that. Leave me reviews, leave me ratings, all of those things. Catch the show. Let me know who you want to have on the podcast. And make sure that you're subscribed to my YouTube channel as well, Georgia Carolina, which is where I post all of the Chaos and Charcuterie videos, as well as the Housewives History Lives video, which we are officially calling the study group. And so that will be up on Mondays. This show will be up Monday through Friday. And yeah. And so if Instagram doesn't save these videos, because sometimes there'll be things going on with Instagram where it'll get cut off and I won't be able to save the video from the day's show to my Instagram feed into the series. It'll always be on my YouTube channel, and the audio will be on the podcast as well. So make sure you guys check that out. Subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me here on Instagram at The Real Reality Realness. And yeah, that'll be the easiest way to keep up with all things me. There's links in the bios to show you everything else I'm doing, music, mixtapes, all of that stuff, blah, blah, blah. So let's get to some of the hot topics we have going on today, some of the headlines that are going on. So, R.Kelly says that Tasha K is sabotaging his case from a new interview from jail, right? This is coming from vibe.com. And The article reads that R. Kelly has expressed during a jail call with radio personality Natasha Simona that gossip blogger Tasha K has tried to sabotage his sex crimes court case. Hearing the words sabotage my sex crimes case just sounds wild to me, right? Per an audio recording, the infamous R&B crooner has accused Tasha K of witness tampering and leaking his personal information to his girlfriends ahead of his New York trial. He believes her actions are what caused his multiple partners to turn on him. Okay, okay, okay. For the last 2 years, I've been trying to figure out how my girlfriends flipped on me, R. Kelly told Simona. He then went into detail about how non-retired Bureau of Prisoners officer logged into the jail communication system, obtained his personal phone and email records, and illegally sold them to Tasha K from a Gmail account. Kelly expressed that because of the leak, his case suffered a devastating outcome. That's interesting. When I saw that my phone calls came back in 2019 were all over the place. Oh, when I saw that my phone calls back in 2019 were all over the place, all of the newspapers, all in the press. Um, and coming out of Tasha K's mouth, and a search warrant was executed by the BOP's office's laptop computer, and they found that it was criminal activity going on. That all became real to me as to why I'm late in court hearing all of these things being said about me. He added, people was mad, people were scorned, and that's pretty much all it takes for somebody to get up there and say whatever they want to say about you. Okay, Tasha K responded to R. Kelly's claims on Instagram, and in a follow-up interview with Natasha, the blogger, also known for losing Cardi B's defamation case, stated she believes Kelly is now pulling her name into the mix as leverage for an appeal. In a censored conversation with Natasha, Tasha K mentioned that she believes R. Kelly is super fixated on one tiny thing that he could possibly get an appeal for, his personal information getting leaked. I mean, that's really all it takes for a mistrial to happen, right? But, and however, um, this goes back to why Tasha K kind of got all of the credibility that she got in the first place, was because she was kind of known for leaking true shit. Like, she was the girl who went on and said, you know, she doesn't do all of the she doesn't do all of the back and forth. She doesn't do all of that. She only listens to real news and real stuff and all of that. And she only posts real information. And then we get this whole Cardi B situation, and where she kind of got caught up in her own hype and got vindictive and then started posting lies, and it was just a big mess, right? Well, this is what I was talking about, because I covered a lot of the Tasha K case when I was doing videos on my YouTube channel, and I was kind of covering her and Jenny Wynn from Salt Lake City kind of simultaneously. And I was saying this then. I was like, but you're the girl that was supposed to be not posting anything fake, and you got up there and you knew you were posting fake shit. So this is what I was talking about when I said she only got up there and posted credible news. Like, even to the point of criminal activity, right? Because I don't, like, can that be leaked back to her? Can that be leaked back to Tasha K, that she is spreading information that was obtained illegally? Like, can she be criminally implicated in that situation? I really wonder, because if that was actually illegal activity going on, I wonder, you know, how her connection can fare for her, basically. And also, who is telling Robert all of this? Like, are his attorneys investigating this? Like, are his attorneys going into this? Like, what is going on? How many attorneys does he have, and why? Like, how are they able to have covered that but not, like, it's just, it's very interesting. It's very interesting, because as much as you want to consider, okay, this information did make these girls flip on him, but then how much of it do you want to sit back and consider, okay, well, maybe they just weren't under your thumb while you were in prison. They got a whiff of fresh air, And maybe they were just like, listen, I don't want to be on Robert's chains no more. I don't want to be Robert's do girl no more. I don't want to be Robert's, other girlfriend anymore. This man is in prison. I don't know when he's coming out. Maybe they just were away from you long enough that they had enough time to comprehend what was going on and kind of snap themselves out of the stuff that was going on. I mean, yes, do I feel like there was a possibility that Tasha K could have been involved? Sure. But then at the same token, to my recollection, wasn't Tasha K like getting attacked by one of R. Kelly's girlfriend's family members and saying that they like I could have sworn like a year ago she was getting attacked by one of um Azriel's parents or something like that. Like I can't even remember distinctly what was going on, but I do remember her. So it begs the question: if she was giving them information, and if she was helping them and doing all of this, first of all, why would she go this far? Why would she go this far to do this? That raises the question for me, like, why would you be so invested in making sure that these girls knew this information to the point of putting yourself in some sort of legal trouble to make sure that these girls had this information, right? Because it's not like she's ever the girl who, you know, I, I ain't saying she's a woman who's truly for women, who's not truly for women. I ain't trying to Ramona Singer her, but I am trying to say that I feel like Tasha K doesn't do anything without the benefit of Tasha K in mind. And I feel like Tasha K doesn't do anything without there being some sort of benefit for her or some sort of back end for her. I feel like maybe she was trying to get exclusive interviews with them. Maybe she was trying to, get the exclusive on what was really going on with Robert. Like, there had to be some sort of gain she was trying to get from even being involved in any of this activity. I feel like, she was working them to try to get some sort of content. Makes perfect sense. I don't. It's very interesting that she would be willing to put herself at risk in that manner for something like that. Like, that is scary. That is scary. Like, I don't ever want to be that obsessed with content creation that I would be willing to put myself legally at risk to do it. I mean, she's already got the situation going on with Cardi B. She wiped her ass with the cease and desist letter. Now she's involving herself in R. Kelly situation. It's like it's sketchy on both sides. It's very sketchy on both sides. And it makes you think, like, okay, what do you do? Like, what do you do? Which side do you go with? Because I can see a case being made for both sides, but then it makes me wonder why. What is Tasha K's benefit? Because I don't think like do we really think that the financial gain from her getting those views from having an exclusive interview with Azriel and the rest of them would have been that beneficial for her to legally incriminate herself? Because the information that was leaked is not hard to trace back to the obtained phone records and all of that stuff. So if she's directly quoting stuff that will be in those transcripts, it wouldn't be hard to trace her connection back to the person that sold them to them. R. Kelly said that it was all found on a laptop. Like, what do you do with that? Because it's like, it sounds like R. Kelly has actual physical evidence that can lead to her being implemented and incriminated in this situation. But however, it's like, why would Tasha K go through all of that trouble for content? Like, I guess Offset and Cardi B was right, child. They will do anything for clout, I guess. But speaking of clout, it according to the U.S. Sun, Nate speaks out. Nate is Amy Robux, whatever her name is. Amy with the back meat. GMA star Amy Robach's stepson Nate Shue, 26, shares pointed post about support after slamming senseless affair drama. Okay. Amy's ex Andrew's eldest son, Nate, was promoting a private screening of his new short film, Sense. Okay. Nate shared a photo of himself at the event on Instagram on Monday. The actor captioned it, "Thank you to everyone who came and supported the film and everyone who helped make it." Nate's post comes after the US Sun exclusively revealed that he doesn't want Amy's affair with TJ Holmes to overshadow his acting career as he tries to make it in Hollywood. He put his family's crisis to the side on Sunday after stepmom Amy's affair with co-host TJ made national headlines. Nate, an actor and filmmaker, previously made reference on Instagram to 2022 being a doozy of a year and has posted family photos without Amy. One pal told The Sun, "It's really a difficult time for Nate and his family as he has been overwhelmed by the situation." Another source says he seems to be doing well. Who are these sources? Who are these sources? I would love to know because I don't trust y'all. I officially do not trust y'all. Right? Unless he was specifically, like, unless these sources were specifically sent by the horse's mouth to come and give you this information, I don't trust nothing y'all got to say. And I would never mess with y'all again. Unless I told y'all, like, if I didn't tell y'all to go leak that, keep your mouth closed about my business. That's all I'm saying. So he's a young artist just trying to make it. He's been in LA a few years now. He has an agent and a manager. So he must just be starting to get started with acting. Like he's just getting into the mix when it comes to acting. Because they talking about, oh, he got an agent and a manager. Like that's not something you're customary. Like that's not something that an established actor is accustomed to having. Do you get what I mean? So he must just be trying to get his career started. Nate wouldn't want this to overshadow what he's focusing on with his projects. I don't, I guess, I guess, I don't really like this post really didn't do anything for me. It didn't give me much because it's like, okay, you're posting pictures without her, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. We get it. But then this is what I mean when I say I feel like these sources can't come directly from Nate because if he don't want this all out in the blogs and if he don't want this to overshadow his business, then why would he be sending sources to talk about it? I just don't understand that. Why would he be having a comment on it at all? Why would he be sending anybody to say anything about it if he didn't want it to overshadow his career? Why would he waste any time in his time talking about his new movie, all of the things that he has going on, all of these things? Why would he take any time away from that to talk about his daddy and it or his stepmama and what she got going on? Like why would he even lend a source to the story and add any type of contribution to it being public fodder? You know what I mean? I don't get that. I don't think that would be a smart thing to do if he wanted to distance himself from the situation. I think that it would be something that he should consider. Um, I think he should be glad that ain't his real mama and that they don't have the same last name or that she didn't take his daddy's last name when they got married. Cause I feel like the internet trolls would have done their due diligence and eventually looked you up and figured out who you are. But I feel like it would have been a slower burn to find you. I feel like had you just not mentioned anything at all, left it alone, minded your business and kept it pushing, people would have just kind of blown over your excuse me, they would have blown over your whole feel like your whole involvement in it being her stepson because you really ain't got nothing to do with it. They're so focused on the parents that they would have been worried about you. So I think you should have just laid low. You better lay low and mind your business and just leave it alone. Because I don't think it's gonna help you to be involved in it. Like Nate, go do your acting, go to your premiere, go promote your movie. Like instead of posting anything about it being a doozy of a year, like instead of alluding to it at all, instead of having any kind of conversation about it, I would have kept posting like nothing ever happened. I would have kept posting like she ain't my stepmama. I would have not posted her one shit. I would have posted nothing that had to do with her. I would have just kept posting my job and what I do and my acting and my movie and that's it. So Are you trying to utilize the press surrounding this situation to promote your movie because you just happen to be attached to her and are saying that you don't want this to overshadow? Like, are you using it for the clout that it could be used for, but you don't want it to get too big, or what is it? Because you even having an opinion on this at all is sus. Like, publicly having an opinion on this. We get that's your daddy and all of that. I get that part of it. But you really shouldn't have an opinion on this at all. For what? Like, especially if the reports that they if they especially if the reports that they started dating after both couples were already separated from their spouses has any real validity to it, why you mad? You know what I mean? But I don't know. I guess we'll see. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, okay. So here's something I find interesting. Okay, so according to the Rap Alert on Instagram, the rapper Frito Bang, I'm not familiar, but the rapper Frito Bang was allegedly having threesomes or hooking up with this lesbian couple and ended up getting both of them pregnant. The couple made it seem like they were doing IVF, but it was really linking with Frito, allegedly, right? So apparently, from the context that I got from this situation, apparently they've been apparently, Frito has kept his baby mamas on the low and didn't expose who his baby mothers were, but was just exposing that he was having children. And then the internet, being who the internet is, was trying to figure out who his baby mamas was. Next thing you know, they do their Instagram digging, they do their Twitter trolling, and they do all of that, and they come across a tweet that says "Stud Cat is top tier." Yikes! First of all. And then there's another post, which looks like to be on Instagram, of them at the gym, and somebody posted in the comments saying, "I want to be your husband. Um, I want to be y'all husband, both of them." And then one of them commented back and said, "We already got a man." I don't know if that's focused enough for you to be able to read that in detail or not, but yeah, the kids is cute. I don't. This is really awkward. I don't like. First of all, if they wanted it to be private, then why y'all digging for it? Like, if they didn't like, if he didn't want to announce, if they didn't want to announce it, why y'all like, for what? Right? That's their business. Second of all, the whole optics of that situation are really sketchy and really sus and look crazy as hell. So I don't really I'm not a fan of that. Like, I'm not a fan of the situation. Like, I don't even want to get into the details of it because there's a whole bisexual erasure conversation that I can have when it comes to that. There's a whole fake gay conversation that I can have when it comes to stuff like that. And the optics of homosexuality when it comes to the public eye and what people really perceive when it comes to homosexuality, especially when it comes to women and lesbianism, and how lesbianism truly is never something that's taken seriously, coupled with bisexuality. So all of this just reads toxic and gross. Shout out to the kids though, because that's all who really matters in this situation. Shout out to the babies because the kids are cute. The house down boots. The kids are cute. The house down. The babies are gorgeous. Shout out to the Rap Alert. Shout out to Frito Bang. But what y'all think about this? Because this is weird. Like, one, the fact that it's being reported, one, the fact that it's not even being officially announced by the people involved, but yet it's just being speculated that these lesbian, lesbian, that these women who are perpetuating themselves as a lesbian couple are claiming, or they aren't claiming, excuse me. The internet is claiming that these lesbians have been out here sleeping with Frito Bang and got pregnant. Now, the twins are clearly, or the babies, excuse me, the babies clearly aren't twins. So there's been at least 2 years worth of sexual relations that y'all been having to get these two babies, because one of the babies looks like they're about a year old and the other one looks just born. So I like it leaves me with questions. Was this the girls hitting a lick? Like, was this the girls hitting the lick? Was this Frito Bang being like, "Yo, I want both of y'all," and they was like, "Both," like, you know, like what was this situation? Because if it was just about sex, I could make a lot more sense of the situation. But the fact that one of y'all got pregnant and then the other one got pregnant, allegedly, it just it all reads as psychotic to me. That's all. It just reads as psychotic to me. All of this reads as a mess. The fact that Frito was tweeting that Stud Cat is top tier, which the fact that they posted this tweet with no timestamp really bothers me. Y'all probably can't even read that. I don't know if it'll focus or not, but it just bothers me that he would even tweet that in the first place. Which men are ignorant as fuck anyway, so whatever. But that whole situation is just a hot ass mess in complete totality. I don't like none of it. I genuinely do not like none of it, but I do want to hear the details, and I only want to hear the details from the women. I really don't want to hear nothing from Frito Bang, because he's going to be coming from this situation, in my opinion, as you know, with the machismo, with the whole big dick energy, with the whole, he feel like the man. So he's not going to give me, in my opinion, any real input into this situation. I want to hear from the women and what the decisions were that they made with their bodies, and what the context is of their relationship to even end up in this predicament to start with, why they would keep the situation a secret if it is true, and how do they expect to go along about this if Frito Bang is showing the children on the internet. We see the babies on the internet. If like how like did y'all just agree not to post y'all kids on the internet? Did y'all just agree to keep y'all children's private on y'all social feeds for the rest of y'all lives and not be able to show y'all kids? Because Frito is out here showing the kids, but want the baby mamas to be a secret. So if the baby mamas are supposed to be a secret, but these random women are posting his kids on the internet, then how is that supposed to make, like, how long were y'all expecting to get by with this going on? Like, how long were y'all expecting this to be a secret? You know what I mean? Um, let's move on, because this I think is crazy. Hold on. Shout out to MC Light, because apparently y'all back on the internet fake killing people, and I don't got time for it. Apparently there was a rumor going around that Eddie Levert died. And, I remember this happening on the internet back a few years ago, back when I was still on Facebook, when people were saying that Jackie Chan died every few months. People would randomly say that this person died and that person died. I thought y'all grew up and got over that shit. But then Slater Vance came out with the whole Michael B. Jordan thing, and now y'all doing this shit on TikTok saying random people died. This must be a continuation of that. I didn't think that Eddie Levert, of all people, would get wrapped up in this whole fake celebrity death storyline, but I do find it interesting. Shout out to Eddie, because I came across MC Light and her post on Instagram talking about Eddie Levert is alive and well. Thank God. He is fine. He is alive. He is breathing. He is just fine. He ain't dead, right? Okay. Because apparently there's been a rumor going around that he died. MC Light had a damn heart attack. She went and called around and got in touch with his family and found out that he was alive. I need y'all to cut that shit out. I really need y'all to grow the actual fuck up and stop sitting here and fake killing people. It ain't cute. It ain't funny. It's not a joke. It's not a vibe. It's not a trend. It's not anything that we should be making any real light of. I think that is so crazy and so offensive that y'all are sitting here RIP and live people. Like, I didn't like it when y'all was doing it to Jackie Chan. I didn't like it when y'all was doing it to other people. I didn't like it when y'all tried to do it to Michael B. Jordan. Shout out to Slater. I I didn't like I just don't like that shit. Like, why are y'all doing that? I didn't like it when Tyra Sanchez, aka James Ross, did it to um Morgan McMichaels. Like, it's just a lot. Like, why do y'all do that? What is the root of that? I need somebody to let me know what it is y'all got going on, because that is insanity to me. That is insanity to me. I don't appreciate it. I don't think it's cool. I don't think it's like, y'all, that's the devil, honey. I don't know what y'all got going on, but y'all need to figure it out because it's not okay. It is genuinely not okay. Like, why? Why y'all fake killing people? Like, why is that a trend on TikTok? Like, why y'all doing shit like that? I don't I don't know. I just want for the trend to stop because it really, like, I just don't understand. If somebody came up to your job and said your mama died, do y'all think that's okay? Like if somebody just randomly popped up and said your mama died, like, we cool with that now? Like, I'm trying to figure out what is we giving, because it doesn't make any sense to me why y'all would do some ignorant shit like that. It just really bothers me. It really bothers me. I don't know what y'all got going on, but I pray y'all figure that out, because the girls is out here just randomly killing people. We still doing that. We still doing that. Like, I just it's gross and offensive. It's gross and offensive, and y'all really need y'all asses whipped. To be perfectly honest, you really need to get all of your shits together, because y'all can't live a long life doing shit like that. Like, y'all have to die early doing shit like that, right? Because, as they say in the Bible, I ain't religious, but, for reference, they say, if you don't honor your mother and your father, that your days will be short. But if you out here just randomly fake killing motherfuckers, that's got to shorten your days too, right? Some of y'all got to be close to expiration. Anyway, speaking of whack ass shit that don't make no sense on the internet, Kim Kardashian's former PR strategist claims that when she got bombed with flour by the anti-fur organization at that red carpet event, that was all staged and that it was all fake for keeping up with the Kardashians, and that it was just all this hoax and this ruse. Um, in the second slide, and this is coming from the Jasmine brand. I'm reading this from the Jasmine brand. Shout out to the Jasmine brand. But it would I believe this. I believe this for a couple reasons. One, because Kim Kardashian has been blatant and honest about saying that in the early stages of her career, she wanted to get she wanted to get photographed, she wanted to get recognized, she wanted to get noticed, she wanted to be in the spotlight by any means necessary. So staging photo shoots, calling paparazzi, going to places she knew that she'd be photographed, all of those things she did intentionally with the goals of being famous and being recognized, right? So it does not shock me at all that she would be the person to do something like that, right? I think that it was planned. I think it was staged. I think, and based on her reaction, because you Somebody pouring flour on me as much as I care about fashion, I would flip the fuck out. Kim Kardashian was laughing about this in the scene. If you go to the Jasmine brand and go to the post about this and swipe to the next slide, she posts the scene from the show when this happened, right? And Kim Kardashian is someone who, in my mind, takes fashion way too seriously to be just perturbed, to just be okay about somebody pouring flour on a fur coat, right? Especially because at that time, like, they were privileged, they had it, but it's not like they were completely just, they weren't as rich as they are now. Like, she was a lot more worried about money then than she is now, right? So the reaction when the flour got poured on her, she just kind of brushed the coat off. She just kind of gave it a couple pats, asked Mario to come and blow dry real quick or whatever, and just called it a day. She was laughing about it. But I feel like Kim is the type of person who takes fashion way too seriously to be worried about something ruined, something ripped, something this, something that, and it's a fur coat. Fur coats are expensive. And I'm sure that, it leans into her staging that, because I'm sure they probably researched what can we dump on this to not ruin it. Like, what can we pour on this and cover it and make the scene look believable and not ruin this fur coat. You know what I mean? I think that Kim had no reaction to the coat. I thought she wasn't worried about the coat being destroyed or being ruined or how they were going to get the flour out of it. Like, it just seemed like there was no real concern about it. And based on Kim's prior history with fashion, I think that there was a moment, how sensitive she was about her Bentley. I've heard her complain about getting boots wet, if I'm not mistaken, about ruining shoes or ruining boots. The whole thing with the earring, jumping in the water without the earring, which I still have questions about that, by the way. Kim, come on the podcast and let's talk about that. Like, I just feel like Kim takes fashion way too seriously to just not be worried about it. Even back then, because back when Kim was still designing closets and selling celebrity merchandise on the internet, like, she still cared about fashion. She understood fashion. She understood the retail value. She understood reselling. She understood all of that because she was selling all of this designer shit on eBay for double, triple the money, which I don't think that's legal now. It doesn't sound like something that's legal, but shout out to Kim Kardashian. God bless you. Um, I'm sure the statutes of limitations are out on that. I'm sure she ain't been eBaying in a long time anyway, even if they could uh do that or whatever. So so I just Kim, I hope y'all still not faking stunts like this. I hope y'all still not faking stunts like this, because it just does not behoove me or you to do shit like this, especially now. Like, I can understand. Listen, I'm not shading her or blaming her for doing this. It worked. And she's not the only one to stage things, set up things, do all of this type of stuff, to she's known to do it, right? She's been comfortable doing it before. So for me, it's like, girl, I don't shade you for doing it. A lot of people have done it. A lot of people have been caught doing it and haven't done it well. So for me, it doesn't strike me as strange that you were calling paparazzi and setting shit up and doing any and every job and taking any and every sponsorship that you could back in the day just to make it. You've made it now. I hope you still not pulling stunts and shows like this. I hope you still not pulling stunts and shows like this. That's really where I'm going with that. Is that I hope you're not still doing stunts and shows like this, because it's unbecoming and it's unnecessary for Kim Kardashian to be pulling stunts and shows like this. And girl, you is big famous. You is big, big famous. Like, there would be no need, right? Um, what else we got? I want to give a shout out to Ryan Murphy, because Ryan Murphy did the right thing and he gave Michaela J. Rodriguez her flowers and allowed her to stand up and have her full moment when he accepted his Golden Globe the other day. Um I really commend him for that because he was not the Golden Globes weren't aired when Michaela J won her award, right? And by the way, the one thing that I do want to critique him on is that he kept calling her MJ when she's officially like trying to rebrand as Michaela J, and she's attached MJ to the listen, it's a long story. Basically, she wants to be called by Michaela J now and not MJ because she was still going by MJ before she transitioned, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. But as far as I know, she was going by MJ pre and post transition. And I think she wanted after Pose and she's coming out as, a singer and, doing all of that. I think she officially wanted to drop MJ and fully be known as Michaela J. Right. But he stood up and gave her the moment because she made history. She's the first transgender actress to ever win a Golden Globe for any category at all, ever in the history of the Golden Globes. And, you know, she didn't get the full just due of her moment. I wanted Michaela J to have her full Cheryl Lee Ralph moment at the Emmys. Like, I wanted her to have that, and she didn't, right? She won her Golden Globe, and we got a video on Instagram, which is great. Happy for it, glad to have it. I'm still gagging. She deserves it, all of that. But I appreciate him forcing the room to not even forcing him taking his time to allow Michaela J to fully take up her space in that room and had her stand up in that gorgeous, gorgeous dress. Michaela J. Michaela J's dress at the Golden Globes was the most beautiful dress I've seen in a very long time. I think it's the most beautiful outfit I've seen on a red carpet in all of 2022. That dress is gorgeous. I don't know who did it. I'll probably look it up as I'm on here right now. In fact, I'll do that. I'll go to Michaela J's page and see if I can find who did her dress. Because that, oh my God, that dress. I need y'all. In fact, I want y'all to see it at this point. I need y'all to see that at this point. This dress was so incredible. Look at this. Look at that. Who did this dress? Who did this dress? Who did this dress? Who did this dress? Balmain, of course. Of course it's Balmain. Shout out to Olivier. Shout out to Olivier. You did that dress. This is the most beautiful thing I have seen on a red carpet or for an award show function in the last year. In the last year. That is gorgeous. Michaela J, you look amazing. Just gorgeous. Thank you, Ryan Murphy, for doing that. Are we getting another season of Scream Queens or not? And if you are you gonna make up for season 2? What else do I have to say to Ryan Murphy? How can I audition for you? Because I would love to be in one of your productions. Dead ass. Because Ryan Murphy is one of those people. I don't blame Sarah Paulson for working for him and working for him damn near exclusively for the past God knows how long. Can we get a Nip Tuck reboot, Ryan Murphy? Because I think people don't realize how long Ryan Murphy has truly been fucking up the game. Ryan Murphy has truly been out here in these streets for a long time. I'm sure he's been out before Nip Tuck, but Nip Tuck was how I became a Ryan Murphy fan. Now, I'm gonna have to apologize to Ryan Murphy because I still ain't watched your version of Boys in the Band. I still haven't watched it. I'm too attached to the original movie, and I'm scared y'all done fucked it up. I don't think y'all done fucked it up just based on the casting of the restaging of the play. I really think that it's fine. I think y'all got the casting down pretty well, actually. So I don't have an issue with it. Like, there's nothing that going into it, I have any preconceived problems with it. It's just I'm very attached to the first Boys in the Band. Boys in the Band is my favorite movie. Well, one of my favorite movie. It's tied for top spot with Torch Song Trilogy by Harvey Firestein. Torch Song Trilogy is my favorite movie. Um, Boys in the Band is my favorite movie part B. Like it's favorite movie A, favorite movie B. But I'm too attached. Now, if anyone has seen the new Boys in the Band that Ryan Murphy did, and let me know how it is. Should I watch it? Should I relinquish it? And should I just go for it and prosper with it? Because I want to watch it, but I'm too attached. I will always go back and watch the first one. I'll go back and watch the one that came out back in the day first because I'm just scared. I'm just scared, to be perfectly honest. To be perfectly honest, I'm scared. Um, I'm resetting some equipment right now. Give me just a second. I Let me pull up another story while I'm doing that too, because I got a few minutes left, and I think I can squeeze in maybe one more story. Oh, there was one that I wanted to get to. There's a couple that I wanted to get to that I didn't get to. I'll save them for tomorrow. But I'll get to this one. OJ Simpson originally being tapped as the person who was supposed to play the Terminator. That's a gag. It's also not true, but the thought of it is a gag. The thought of the fact that a studio head genuinely wanted OJ Simpson to play the Terminator. It's interesting, especially because I just came across a post on Instagram not too long ago about seeing. It's crazy because I just came across a post on Instagram of rappers being reimagined as the leads of Marvel movies. So it had like Donald Glover as Doctor Strange and Kendrick Lamar as the Black Panther and all of these other people, which, mind you, it was funny that they had Donald Glover in there because Donald Glover was actually rumored to be playing Miles Morales. So how big of a stretch was that post, Shade Room? Um, but the fact that a studio head genuinely thought that OJ Simpson was going to be a good Terminator is such an interesting thing to me. It's such an interesting concept to me because even hearing it in the context of OJ being like the biggest athlete at the time and doing all of this and doing all of that, I just don't see that, right? Now, mind you, Arnold Schwarzenegger talked about this in an interview not too long ago, where he said that OJ was actually supposed to be the first Terminator. He was the first one that was originally cast. Well, James Cameron has come out now, and this is via Variety on Yahoo. Um, and it's basically saying that James Cameron was basically like, listen, that's not what happened. He wasn't originally cast. It was pitched to me. I thought it was a bad idea. That's as far as it got. He was never supposed to be the Terminator. I didn't see it then, and I don't see it now. Arnold was the choice that we went with. Arnold is the choice that I believed in. Now I wonder why OJ was the person, right? Out of all people, because it just doesn't seem like he would be in a reboot or be in the Terminator. If anything, I would have pegged OJ Simpson to be in a reboot of I Spy, the Bill Cosby TV show. I would have pegged him to be in that before I pegged him to be in the Terminator. If anybody, I would have thought that they would have gotten like Wesley Snipes back then. Like, I would have thought that Wesley Snipes' name would have been thrown around. I don't know if Wesley Snipes was even active as an actor at this time, but it is very interesting. It's very interesting. Shout out to James Cameron. But but I'm about to go ahead and wrap up because there's a few stories that I wanted to get to that I didn't get a chance to get to, like like my Dear Abby story. I didn't realize that Dear Abby was still a thing. I didn't realize that Dear Abby was still out here. Um, and that people were still writing to Dear Abby and doing all of that. There was a story about Don Cheadle that I wanted to get to, and how he was only given like 2 hours to agree to um, taking Terrence Howard's part in Iron Man. There was a story that I wanted to get to about Avatar, Whitney Houston, and The Weeknd. All all of those things, all of those three things just happen to be connected for me right now, and I'll tell you why more about that tomorrow. So I put it in the description of this episode, certain things that I didn't get a chance to get to. So I'm gonna make sure to put it in tomorrow's description for tomorrow's episode that I didn't get a chance to do it, right? But it is I'm enjoying this show. Thank you guys so much for doing this. There's a Lauren Conrad story that I want to get to. There's I got something to say about Quentin Miller too. Tomorrow's show is gonna be good. Don't worry about it, because I have enough topics to get through tomorrow's show just on today's list. So if you guys have any topics that don't have to do with Housewives or RuPaul's Drag Race that you want me to talk about on this show, hit me in the DMs and let me know. Email me at 3realpodcast@gmail.com. And just let me know if there's anything that you want me to talk about specifically that doesn't have to do with the Real Housewives or Bravo, because I'm leaving all Housewives and Bravo talk, but specifically Housewives. I may slide in some Bravo talk, but specifically Housewives talk. I save all that for the lives that I do on Monday with my co-host Megan Eady from Housewives History, called The Study Group. We're doing that show every Monday, and we're going to talk about Housewives topics there and on the podcast too. So if you have anything that you want me to talk about as far as Housewives goes, DM me, DM Megan, or go to our podcast page, housewiveshistory.ms, and send us a message there, and we'll talk about it on the show or on the live show. If you have any topics that you want me to talk about as far as RuPaul's Drag Race is concerned, or any drag race conversation that you want me to have, send that to me, or send that over to Giselle from the Who Asked Me podcast, because she's going to be my co-host in my Drag Race recaps. We're going to be recapping Drag Race every week, every Thursday. No, it's going to be every Monday, if I'm not mistaken. I, you know what? Let me check my calendar and be sure, because I set up a Zoom for it. I've already got it set up. Okay, it's going to be Mondays. We're going to be doing Drag Chat Live on Mondays. I'll get a graphic up for that later on today, but we're going to be doing Drag Chat Live. We're going to be recapping all things season 15 of RuPaul's Drag Race, and it's going to be me, the Who Asked Me podcast, star and host Giselle. We're going to be here giving all of the tea, all of the opinions, all of the things of the things. So if you have any questions about that, DM one of us. Who do you want me to have on the podcast? I am always reaching out to people. I'm always reaching out to people to talk to on the podcast, and have on. Um, so let me know if there's anybody specific you want to see me try to have a conversation with. I'm reaching out to housewives, reality stars, love and hip hop people. There's a few people that I want to talk to from Love After Lockup. Um, there's a couple people that I want to talk to from Love After Lockup and Love. There's a few people that I want to talk to over there. Love is Blind people, because I'm putting the Love is Blind podcast on pause right now to focus on building this show and building Housewives history. And also, special announcement before I go, I also have another podcast that I'm working on. It's going to be like a special segment collab podcast that I'm doing with Dave Lennon from Lost in the Groove podcast, somebody who you see me on with um, a, seen me on with a couple times at this point. I've done their show, they've done my show. We did a collaboration special for New Year's, and we're coming together. If you listen to that episode, that's where this is coming from, and that's where it was birthed. We are launching a new podcast called Groove and Gravity with Lennon and Rogers. He's Lennon, I'm Rogers. Shout out to John Lennon. Shout out to Prince. And we're going to be talking about music. We're going to be talking about all things music. We're going to be getting lost in the groove, but we're also going to be weighing in on the gravity of these people's lives and the impact that, you know, their music had on us, their music had on people, their legacies, and the stuff that went on in their lives had on us and the world. We're going to be talking about all things music. We're going to be having incredibly deep dives. We're going to be going into it, talking about our own musical history. It's going to be an amazing show. It's called Groove and Gravity with my host, with my co-host Dave Lennon from Lost in the Groove podcast. Make sure you go and check in and catch up on our New Year's episode that is available everywhere on both of our podcasts and on YouTube. You can catch that and actually listen to the birth of that podcast happening. Our first series that we're gonna do. Well, I'll save that. We'll do a live later on where we'll talk about the show and we'll get more into it. But it's an exciting show. I can't wait for you guys to hear that. It's gonna be starting in March or April. We're going to begin recording that very soon. So I'm really excited for that show. It's gonna be the most in-depth and highly produced podcast that I've done so far. So I can't wait for you guys to get into it. Once again, make sure you're subscribed to the podcast, Real Reality Realness. Make sure you're subscribed to Housewives History with Megan and Sean. Make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, Georgia Carolina. Georgia spelled Georgia, like the singer, Georgia Smith, and Carolina spelled like both states, North and South. All of the Chaos and Charcuterie episodes will be on my YouTube channel. All of the drag chat lives will be on there, but we're not actually going to be live. It's going to be a segment that we're going to pre-record. I may go live during it. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. But that's going to be on my YouTube channel as well. That's going to be a special episode of both of our podcasts. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you follow me here at The Real Reality Realness where it counts. If you want to follow me personally, you can follow me at Sean Ellis Rogers. I'm over there, but I'm not really over there. Like I am over there. Like if you hit me up, if you follow me, I'll see it, but I don't really post over there as often as I would like to. So maybe if you follow me on both pages, I'll remember to post over there more. But that's about it. I'm going to go ahead and close for the day. I appreciate you all for being here. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been Chaos and Charcuterie with me, Sean Ellis Rogers. I am your host. This is once again the visual extension and the live extension of the Real Reality Realness podcast. But if you can't catch me live and you can't um, settle in to watch it on the replay, the episodes will be available on the podcast starting today. As soon as this live is over, I will be posting it in the podcast. So give it about another 10 minutes and we'll be there. But that's about it. I am Sean Ellis Rogers. I appreciate you all for being here. I love every single one of you from the bottom of my green heart emoji. And yeah, misbehave yourselves. Do all of the things. I'll holler at y'all later. I'll see you tomorrow. There may be a chance I may go live again today. You never know. But until then, according to the subjects and the headlines that I didn't get a chance to get to today, I have a great show for you tomorrow. So until then, love you. Bye. Peace. Goodbye. Aye. Dave, I'm literally getting ready to like leave.